Just
Talk to us
shame.
about what happened to Shanquella.
So, broad strokes, this beautiful entrepreneur went to Cabo in the end of August for a trip with six other people. They had a high-end hotel booked for their stay. Allegedly, she was dead 24 hours later. The video footage that has been released shows her hanging out with her friends and having a good time the first night. The last footage coming from her phone shows her walking into the sort of villa that they're staying in, and it appears she's undressed, expecting everybody to be scantily clad, I believe, and kind of ready to party and ready to kick it. And
Yep.
what appears to have
Put on
unfolded was
bathing suit.
basically a beatdown. So originally, her friend said she had died of alcohol poisoning. Allegedly, when the doctors came, they recommended her going to the hospital, but the friends required her treatment to occur in the room only. They told the parents that she died of alcohol poisoning, but the parents said that the stories didn't all add up. And when the autopsy report was released, what it actually showed was that her neck was cracked and that she also died of cardiac arrest. Now, watching the video, I saw part of the active video. It's disgusting. It's really revolting. And it looks like at one point the girl who is punching her grabs her by her hair at some point and spins her. And to me, that appears to be where her neck snaps because she lands on the floor with her legs kind of apart, like in a scissor. And you hear someone in the background say, "Why don't you fight back?" And she says, "I can't." If I were to guess, the reason she can't is because she couldn't feel anything from the neck down.
Mm.
And was getting punched at the same time and ended up dead. Allegedly, there's $10,000 of her money missing, and allegedly she had more in her suitcase, which was taken by the people who examined her, hence the speedy report saying she died of alcohol poisoning. But the secondary autopsy revealed the neck break. And allegedly, the six friends, who are all from North Carolina, allegedly have been unreachable. Phones have been disconnected. And there have been, as of this point, no arrests made.
Thank you for adding some details. I was not aware. I was not aware that she's also got money missing. So those friends told her to bring $6,000 or $10,000 in cash with her down there for this vacation. And that's just
either there seems to be a combination of either money was taken out of her account and or money was taken out of her luggage. Like most people, you carry, some cash, some debit card. Right. Also, there's inconsistency between death reports because one report says she was dead within 15 minutes and one report said she was alive for 3 hours and then died. So there seems to be some discrepancy there as well. What we do know is that 7 people went on vacation and 6 people came home. And the story they said, which is alcohol poisoning, does not match up with the autopsy report, which has clearly demonstrated a break in the neck.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it wasn't necessarily 10,000 cash, but it was 10,000 out of her account in some way, shape, or form. 10,000 at least
of her finances were gone, and an additional funds that were in her suitcase.
Sure, they grabbed her debit card. Mm-hmm.
Right, and allegedly, there's the story as of what I read or saw up to this morning was that money was what was used to pay off the people who inspected her at the hotel to just wrap it up into alcohol poisoning, cardiac arrest kind of thing. Because the hotel doesn't want bad publicity, because bad publicity means people won't go there for vacation. So it sounds like there was a gentleman agreement of the people who, saw her body at the hotel room, the wink, wink, hush money. And then the friends came home, told the parents. The parents said the story didn't make sense. And again, when they got the independent autopsy, the autopsy revealed that her neck was broken. And based on the video that I saw, it would make sense that it happened when the girl grabbed her by a hair and spun her, because when she lands on the floor, she doesn't move once after that, despite getting punched in the head several times and kicked. She doesn't move at all.
That's right. I
so
saw
that leads me to believe she was. But she does say, "I can't." Someone says to her, "Why don't you hit back?" And she says, "I can't." And I think, based on the autopsy report, the "I can't" was she was realizing she couldn't move. You crack your spine, you're pretty much a paraplegic from the neck down. Can't move.
Yeah. Her spinal cord was severed.
Yeah.
I didn't put it together that when she grabs her head like that, that's where it did.
That spin.
that makes sense, that spin around, and then she's
And then
on
she
the ground,
lands.
and her legs don't move at all.
She doesn't move at all.
And she
No
said
part
she
of her body
couldn't fight
moves.
back.
And you hear the guy in the background say, why don't you at least fight back? And she says, I can't. I can't implies I physically can't.
Cannot.
I cannot do this. Meanwhile, that girl just wails on her and they're filming it.
Mm-hmm.
Quite frankly, I hope they all go to jail.
Oh, everyone.
Men first. The men first.
Because they didn't stop it. Even if it was the girl, one of the other girls' ideas, because it was, you know, 6 other people, maybe 3 girls, 3 guys, or 2 guys and 4 girls, something like that.
And it sounds real shady that this happened within one day of her being there.
Yeah, she just got there. First day of this
got
vacation.
there. I believe this happened October 28th, and she was dead October 29th.
Mm-hmm. And then y'all come
told
back.
The family alcohol poisoning and thought it was going to end there, and it did not. And I'm glad that the story is gaining momentum, and I hope they find these people, and I hope they go to prison. Can we stop killing Black women, please?
Yes.
Should we say the names of the people that are involved in this?
Oh, if you got them, please.
Let's see. Hang on one second. So one is called Winter Donovan, Elise Hyatt, Khalil Cook, Malik Dyer, Mazir Wiggins, and Dejanay Jackson. That's their names. And then after they're found, their names won't be said again.
Mm-hmm.
It's shameful.
Mm-hmm. If you didn't do it, why aren't you saying it? Why are you completely underground right now?
It's shameful. Only people who hide are people who got something to hide for.
Now, I get that you're going viral, so you want your privacy, but
true,
y'all know y'all did something.
Well, because 2 of their cell phones are disconnected and no one's been able to be reached or seen since.
Mm-hmm.
Since returning home and giving the parents the story and the story being refuted. She didn't die of alcohol poisoning.
No.
Her neck was snapped.
No.
And she was beaten to death.
And since it's 6 other people, it's only going to take a few hours of all 6 of y'all in jail in interrogation before somebody squeals. There's no
We're going to start talking in no time. The story's getting way too much attention. There's nowhere for them to hide. Once the feds get involved in this, there's nowhere you can go.
Yeah, because y'all committed.
You don't have enough money. You don't have enough money to escape the feds. If 10 grand is all you got, you ain't going to make it to Saturday.
That's a very good point. You're not flying off to some non-extradition country in a private jet with some gold bullion and some diamonds and shit.
Right.
You did this.
The Theranos ship wasn't able to sail off into the sunset. You best believe these motherfuckers ain't going nowhere either.
Right. You did this over 10 grand. Ain't no way you got enough money to dodge the feds. You come on.
Thank you.
Come on.
If you're killing people for 10 grand, you don't have money.
Mm-hmm. First one to squeal is going to get the easiest punishment. So
right.
It's up to y'all.
Right.
Because
you're killing somebody for 10 grand, you don't have enough dough to run from the feds. So you might as well just come back and turn your ass in and deal with your maker. Because
y'all just assumed
they did to this girl.
Y'all assumed, oh, party girl, alcohol poisoning happens all the time. It happened in Mexico.
No, it doesn't happen all the time where your friends beat you up on vacation, take your money, break your neck, and lie to your parents. No, that doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't.
Thank you. And then you idiots recorded it.
Thank you. I'm glad they did. Because that will help further move the case along where it needs to be. At least we can't dispute whether or not you were there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good place to start. Shame on you. Shame on your parents for raising you, and shame on Earth. On this episode of Raw Food.